In today's Leeds news, Elland Road redevelopment update, Kinnear's parting praise for Farke, record-breaking season, and Ampadu annoyed with EFL decisions. Morning folks, Chair here at The View for Tuesday the 29th of April with your Leeds United news. Hope you're having a good week so far. Fantastic result last night. What a way to wrap up the home campaign for Leeds. Another really dominant performance, and probably as dominant a performance outside of the 6-0 that you could probably see from Leeds. Just so comfortable last night. Played some wonderful football and scored 4 really good goals, and it could have been a hell of a lot more as well. But a really special moment at Elland Road last night. We got some fallout for that to talk about as well, and some extra detail on the very nice looking Elland Road redevelopment that popped up. I'd love to know everyone's thoughts on that down below. But we'll start off with that, and there's a little bit more detail just to cover. And as we know, yesterday Leeds United did unveil plans for the new look Elland Road and surrounding areas, with some lovely renders and graphics that went out to the press and via leedsunited.com yesterday evening. And there are some small updates on this project. One little detail that has been picked up from the planning application is the stadium is planned for 56,500 capacity, which isn't what the actual build will be. The build is said to be 53,000, but the additional space there will give Leeds room to expand if they decide to do so in the coming years after that. So you're looking at a 53,000 seater stadium with room to expand to 56,500 should the need be there. The Leeds United Supporters Club have been involved in the process and consulted regularly by Leeds and the City Council as well. And on the plans and the developments that were released yesterday, the Supporters Club had the following to say. Leeds United Supporters Club have been consulted in person over the last 3 years by the new owners, and we've kept a discreet silence over the detail given to us in order to assist the club in the development. We took a decision 3 years ago to support this in principle and the core aspects of the redevelopment. In particular, we want to welcome the growth of corporate seats as it is done alongside the expansion of the capacity for our members and similar fans. We are delighted with some of the attention to detail and upgrading on all aspects of the stadium. We outlined our views at the beginning of the process that the offer of food and drinks needed significant enhancing, and that a range of costs that would suit all budgets to attract fans to spend more time at the stadium pre and post match. We also welcome the commitment to detail on the matchday experience, such as big improvements to the toilet facilities. This puts Leeds United back where we should be, a leading club run professionally, listening to its fans and catering for every kind of fan into the future. The Leeds United investors are said to have had a little closer look at the development plans planned and the detail within the stadium as well. We can get a bit more look at that over the coming weeks and months. If you do want to see more of that, they will be available through an exhibition on May 22nd and May 23rd. Also, you can see the plans in Holbeck City on May 13th and the Dragon Pub on May 19th. Leeds City Council have also now started the process in selling the surrounding land of the stadium to Leeds United in order to facilitate the Elland Road development. People asking why the COP hasn't got a single tier and why it's a double tier, and that apparently has got to do with this style of construction. They are going to build the stands around the existing stadium in order to not lose capacity during the construction process. So by that, they have to do it in 2 tiers, similar to what Liverpool have done with their stadium. Actually, it's a very similar looking model to what they've done with Anfield as well. Let's move on and talk about some positive words for the manager. And as more stories keep leaking out about the manager's future, whether they're true or likely not true, as the case looks like it is, it's nice for someone to come out and give some supportive words to the manager, Daniel Farke, as well as the Leeds fans last night who sang his name and made a very big noise around what he has done at the club. Departing Leeds United CEO Angus Kinnear has had some very praising and positive words for Daniel Farke on his way out of the club, and Kinnear said the Leeds couldn't have wished for a better leader in Daniel Farke and praised him for an almost immaculate season. Leeds Live has said today that they believe claims made around Daniel Farke's future are said to be wide of the mark, which is similar to what the Athletics comments were as well. The Guardian piece yesterday that said Parag Marathe was flying in for crunch talks with Farke about his future might just have aligned up with the fact that it was Leeds' final home game of the season. There was going to be a little bit of a promotion party, and the owners tend to sit down with the managers at the end of a season anyway and talk about what went well, what hasn't gone well, and what needs to improve. But people have jumped the gun on that. But on Daniel Farke, Angus Kinnear said the following in the programme notes. I want to congratulate Daniel Farke on an almost immaculate season. Recent history has shown us that this club needs a leader with broad shoulders and unshakable belief if it's to be successful. This season, Daniel has personified Kipling's mantra of, if you can keep your head when all those around you are losing theirs, I don't believe we could have had a better leader. A chance of 100 points and a goal difference of plus 60 and a final run of 4 straight wins to get over the line when the pressure was mounting should put this season firmly in the history books as one of Leeds United's best 5 wins on the bounce now after last night's win. First time this season, and potentially a 6th one they can win on Saturday afternoon. Kinnear went on also to thank the fans for their support over the last 2 years and the 8 years that he has been in the club, as this is his final programme notes as he departs the club and heads to Everton after 8 years as Leeds United CEO. So very much some ups and downs during that period for Angus Kinnear, but he has been there as CEO for 2 Leeds promotions. I'm sure he'd be very happy with that. But let's move on and talk about a record-breaking season for Leeds United. It has been. We've been sharing these results all year, but there's some more records fell yesterday and they're worth talking about as we're in a positive mindset, and a massive thank you to LUFC Data for this as well. We'll start off with the first one. A joint club record. Leeds matched a club record of 28 league wins in a single season alongside Marcelo Bielsa's campaign in 2019-2020. A new club record. Leeds set a new club record of the most clean sheets in a single league campaign in the club's history with 25. 93 goals scored in a single league season for only the second time in our entire history. The current record stands at 98, and that was set in 1927-1928. So Leeds would need 5 goals against Plymouth to level that one. And 97 points in a single season is the club's best ever points haul for a single season. 100 points still very much up to play for. And from Johnny Cooper, Largi Ramazani against Bristol City last night, the first time ever a Leeds United player has been subbed on with 10 minutes to go in a game and scored 2 goals, and 2 lovely goals and some backflips to send everyone home happy at the end of last night's game. It was a fantastic performance by the side last night. We'll get into that in a bit more detail tomorrow night on the podcast, as well as we look ahead then to the game on Saturday, the final game of the season. It's hard to believe we're at that point already after what's been a stressful enough season, I can tell you. But let's move on anyway to the final story of the day, and this is the captain speaking about the EFL's decision making in the last couple of weeks of the season. And Leeds captain Ethan Ampadu has admitted to being a little bit annoyed at the EFL's decision in the campaign run-in this year. Last week the players didn't get to celebrate with the fans inside Elland Road, and that was due to the EFL moving fixtures for TV, which has come as an annoyance to the players, but has been an annoyance to the Leeds fans for the last 2 years in this block and the 16 years prior to that, the last time we were down. But last night they did get that chance to celebrate with the fans in the stadium, and they made the most of it. Willie Nanto being chased around the park by chasing Ethan Ampadu around the park with still 1 game to go was a little bit concerning, but they got a chance to share an amazing experience last night with the fans and really enjoy it with their families and their kids on the pitch as well, which was wonderful to see. And after last night's dominant display, Ampadu spoke to Sky Sports about the situation and was asked what it meant to celebrate with the fans in the stadium, and his response was the following: a lot. We celebrated like this after the last game, the last result. Ourselves and our families were a little bit annoyed that we had to play first because we wanted to celebrate with our fans, but I think we're making up for it now. They definitely did make up for it last night, and they're only back in training from Friday last week, so they only got a couple of days, and that could be again the case before the game this Saturday. But a really special night at Elland Road, and an amazing shared experience for everybody that got to feel that the new stadium is the future of the club. But this is probably one of these nights that might be the last time we see these kind of nights in the current version of the stadium. It was a really special atmosphere last night and amazing to see. But we will be back tomorrow morning, folks, with more Leeds United news, and back tomorrow night then with a podcast to look back at the last couple of days, the stories, as well as the result last night against Bristol City, and ahead to the final day of the season against Plymouth Argyle, and see if Leeds United can be crowned champions on the final day of the season. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for the support, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.